oxalic acid from Florida Laboratories. As pure as it gets. A lot of controversy, guys. Loosen these earplugs a little bit for you. A lot of controversy as to how to do things proper. Craig Harrison with Front 9 Restorations has some great videos out there. Everett Abrams with the Wizard of Wood and wood restoration. Those guys are just on point. And Craig Harrison can show you guys how to remove battery acid with a garden hose, a broom, and a pump up sprayer. So you don't need your machine. Turn you around there. You wouldn't need your machine. Boy, that's a beautiful machine, isn't it? That's just a regular little 4 gallon a minute. And I know you guys are running your 8s and your 10s and all that jazz, but even when you're sanding a job, let's say you're doing paver sanding, you're doing wet sanding, you're gonna need to back those machines off because it's just too much pressure. And the X-Jet, the M5 Twist is such a great nozzle to use. So anyway, let me get back to the point. The point is there's a lot of controversy out there. What do I do first? How do I do this? What, you know, that kind of thing. I'm going to show you guys. I got set up on this job. I blew off the paver patio. I noticed a bunch of rust stains. So I simply mixed up some oxalic acid in this inexpensive little Chapman sprayer. No, it doesn't have Viton seals. And yes, the acids and caustics will destroy this after a little while. I will say this, I got a new backpack sprayer. It's a Craftsman with Viton seals. It's a 20 volt battery powered backpack sprayer. It holds 4 gallons and it is the perfect tool for sealing because you have no hoses in your way. It's got a high volume and a low volume. And depending on what type of product that you're using, it works really, really good. I saw a guy runs a company called Pink Flamingo, and he was using it, and he preferred it over his cart. So anyway, there are pros and cons. There are many things that you can use, but I wanted to show you guys today. We had a ton of rust stains all over this deck. Now, normally I clean first, then I wait for things to start to dry a little bit, and then I begin the process of laying on my acid to remove the rust, iron, and sulfur. Then I remist it, reactivate the salts by lightly scrubbing, and then I lay on a lighter coat, and then I rinse. But you don't have to do that. If you have little areas that you need to touch up that are full of rust, and the surface, it depends what temperature the surface is, and it depends what you're doing. So you can highlight an area and make it look terrible. But I'll say this, I took this little pump up sprayer here. Now I use about 16 ounces of oxalic acid to about 3/4 of a gallon, okay? If you're doing wood brightening, you're gonna use 16 ounces for a gallon. It just depends how strong you wanna make your mix, and you also need it diluted at the bottom. I've had times where I've tried to make a strong mix and I end up with this much product left over. It's already strained all the water out of there. So you really have to make sure that these things are mixed up properly. But 16 ounces to 3/4 of a gallon. I took this pump up sprayer and I went around and I hit areas. This was full of rust. This was full of rust. We're still gonna burn more here. Multiple areas. I'm gonna go back on the deck and treat other areas because I've already blown the deck off with my blower. So all of those leaves that used to be there are gone. All the leaves that were there are gone. And I found additional little rust spots, but we had rust all in through there, gone. We had rust underneath here. This was orange. This whole area under here was just orange, mainly from these risers for the plants. But throughout the years, they've been moved in various positions. And so there was just rust all through here. We may want to coat that a little bit more. We want to coat that a little bit more. I'm not sure if that's algae right now or rust as I'm looking at it, but you can see where it's wet. That was all rusty. This whole thing got treated and all that rust is gone. All that rust is gone. And I laid that oxalic on straight. So we had multiple areas in through here, and I found a few other areas right here. So we're gonna come back in here and we're gonna treat that, we're gonna treat that, we're gonna treat that, that, We're gonna treat that right now and make that just absolutely disappear. And then we're gonna come in with water and get that, chase that off, and then neutralize the acid before we lay on our solution. So just wanted to let you guys know there's a lot of, it's not controversy, but it's confusion. There's only one way to do it. There's just a right way to do it. No, there's not. There is a right way, and there certainly is a wrong way. A lot of people want to just spray product on and hope it goes away. It doesn't work like that. There's a process to reactivate the salts with lifting battery acid and rust iron and sulfur, especially hardware, metals, strengths, dilution rates. But just want to let you guys know that you can come in with your pump up sprayer with some oxalic and hit some areas before you get started, and it takes off that surface rust. Then do your process of cleaning. After you're done cleaning, wait for everything to dry. Once it dries, look, then do your acid treatment. And it will penetrate down into the substrate or concrete or whatever you're on. In this case, it's going to be pavers and also concrete as well. So hope everyone's having a great day. Keep cleaning out there. I'm going to get started. And this is TNT pressure cleaning, dynamite service with explosive results. I know that this is kind of silly, but this is completely mobile. And so when I get done with a job, and let's say my hoses are wrapped around there, let's say my hoses are going over there, wherever this is, I can simply turn it on a dime with effortless ease. That's 400 feet of high pressure, and that's 100 feet of supply line, So whatever angle I'm on, I can maneuver this so that my hoses will roll up with effortless ease. Roll up my hoses. Now, yes, an electric hose reel is great, but depending on the angle that you're at, those hoses have to be drug and straightened, especially when you're wrapped around a corner. This particular home is not only on this street, which is a back street. There's the Intracoastal Waterway right there. This is a back street, and then there's a front street over there, which is called John Anderson. So they have a half-moon driveway in the front of their property, and this is the back of their property. So my hoses are going to be stretched all the way out there, all the way around there. And to roll up at the end, all I have to do is roll this little handy cart in the angle where my hoses are, roll up. As soon as I get to a point where I need to turn a corner, this will drive right over to that corner and roll back over. Remember, I'm a one-man operation, and so it's really important to make things really effortless and easy. We are going to be building a trailer, a fixed trailer, because a lot of these homes, you can just pull your hoses. It's easy. I probably won't go with electric reels because they're really expensive. The hand crank reels, there's nothing that can go wrong with them. Eventually we'll get the electric reels, but as for right now, we're doing it as simply and affordable as possible with the most effective and efficient ways of doing things. So I don't mind the labor, it keeps me in shape. Take care, everyone. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning, dynamite service with explosive results.